'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit.
Look at that. We're dressed exactly right. Terry,
That's
I
right.
know you're always copying me, my man.
I know. I'm always in your computer looking at everything you're doing.
First my picks, now my look.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on around here? Well, I must be, I'm not Irish. Are you Irish?
Yes, I have some Irish in me. Yes. 25%.
25%. So maybe, we're going to, I know St. Patrick's Day is not all that far away. So maybe we're going to have the luck of the 25% Irish today.
Could be. Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, it should be a fun day. Well, we got not a lot to cover, just 4 races, but really a lot at stake in these stakes races because I think 3 of them are 50-point races.
Yeah.
So that means there will be 3 horses that essentially get a, what do they call that monopoly? Pass go, but this time you're going to pass go straight to the Kentucky Derby and collect a few $100,000. That sounds like a pretty good day to me.
It does to me too. It's a big day of racing today. It's all over the place. So
I know they have that Stronach group has that Super Saturday. I think they're calling this. There are something like 16 stakes races that they have, 15, something like that.
15 that I think. Yeah, I actually entered that contest. So
when did it start?
It starts in, I think, the 4th or 5th race.
All right.
I
didn't get a chance to do that, so maybe I can when the show's over. I doubt it, but
yeah,
I did enter that one contest where there's like 3,000 people for the tickets to go to. And the funny thing is, we haven't won one yet with like 200 people. We'll probably win the one with 3,000 people in it, right?
I was thinking the same thing yesterday when I was putting my entries in there. So.
Well, there you go. And then we both dressed alike. So we're probably both finished 5th, which would suck because, 5th with these, they're taking 5. All right. But in any case, Terry, today we're going to talk a little bit about some big races. The first one on deck for us, we'll go right alphabetical order. We'll start at Aqueduct. This is the GothamStakes. It's a grade 2, Terry. They're going to run 1 mile, so it's only a 1-turn race. So I don't know how strong of a prep race a 1-turn, 1 mile race at Aqueduct is and what you can read out of that because you're going to get 2 turns and so forth at Churchill come the first Saturday of May. But nonetheless, they've run at Gotham, in Gotham, right? New York City is known as Gotham. They've run 126 races. 100 of them have been won by speed, 34 of which went wire to wire. And they have a pretty fair post position bias. So if we look at the early pace out of the gates, Terry, boom. Dean's List looks like it's going to be the fastest horse out of the out of the gates, followed by Life is Great. And then Bold Journey and Running Son of a Gun. Those would be right there in that first tier behind the 2 front runners. On the way home, Golden Code and Morello have pretty similar late pace numbers. They should be the strongest of the group. Number 4, From Another Mother. That horse is one that will be right behind those in terms of late pace. And then the 10, the 5, the 8, and the down, they have some pretty similar type late legs. And if we look at our stock chart, Terry, it looks to me like the number 5 horse here has the highest average and the smallest low and smallest high, but it's only run 2 races so far, and that's Dean's List.
Yes.
So are you ready to kind of walk through the field and see what you think about every horse here?
I am. Yeah, let's get going.
Let's do it.
All righty.
That's as Arnold Schwarzenegger said. Let's do it. All right, Terry. So what do you think about Running Son of a Gun besides I like the name?
I like the name a lot too. Yeah, number 1. It's he's won 2 races in a row, and the last one was at Aqueduct at 6 furlongs. Now he stretches out to a mile. He has a good 4 furlong workout on February 27th, 4 furlongs at 49 and change, breezing. 18 out of 155 workouts.
Yeah, I mean, the horses run pretty well the last couple of races. The only thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is the early part of the races. In the 3rd race of its career race, it did show some regression in the 2 furlong numbers and the 4 furlong numbers, and that's represented in a slower fractions. And it looks to me like this horse is probably going to need a faster pace to get this job done. Number 2 is, and it might get that because there's plenty of speed in here. Number 2, Glider, is Antonio Gallardo, Mark Case horse. The horse is coming off an optional claiming 4th place finish. Do you think it has a chance?
Or maybe it did win the race before that fourth place finish at Grant Spaz, no,
Mhm.
Gulfstream Park, and he does have a pretty sharp workout on February 26th, 48.3 breezing, 30th out of 122.
And then for me, like I said, I look at this horse. I do like the fact that you saw some significant late pace improvement in this horse last time out. So that should bode well as the horse goes a little bit longer today. Well, a little bit shorter than it did at Tampa. I don't know about that Tampa to Aqueduct angle, Terry. That's a little bit different track down there, though. The folks that we've talked to that work at Tampa tell us it's a track because it's sandy and heavy that can get horses into good shape. So maybe that's the case with Glider here. I just think it's probably just a little bit too much of a big step up for this horse, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think so.
Number 3, Golden Code. Won its last, broke its maiden, winning by 10 lengths, Terry. Is it going to make it back-to-back races? I'm not a big fan of horses that break their maiden and go straight to a race like this. I mean, statistically, they don't win at a high percentage. And then on top of that, I would want to see this horse have the highest last race speed figure to consider it to have a chance to make that leap. I don't know that it can.
Yeah, that's true. And, it won that race by 10 lengths, but that was in the mud. And I see that happening a lot of times in the muddy tracks where a horse will get out there and everybody else backs off because the other horses don't like the mud flying in their face, or maybe the jockey don't. Who knows? But he has a really good trainer, Todd Fletcher. And like you said, he did win the last race. His early speed style will help his chances.
And then, yeah, I just think he's over. I mean, if you look even at the speed numbers, are well below some of the more competitive horses in this field. From Another Mother managed to get out to the lead, broke its maiden last time out, but it did so, Terry, with the highest last race speed figure. So that's a combination I can live with a horse coming out of the maiden ranks into a race like this. It's a horse that's definitely going to be pressing for the lead. Last time out showed some nice improvement in the 2 furlong numbers, the 4 furlong numbers, but most importantly, exploded at the end of the race. That's a good formula at Aqueduct. Be on the front and have some late kick.
Yeah, and this is another name that I really like from Another Mother. Like you said, won the last race at Aqueduct and received the highest race speed rating. And this horse has the best start speed among today's starters. The jockey in the last 7 days and 24 mounts has run 18 times in the money, won 8 of those. So
it's done pretty well. Yeah. I just wonder if that big burst in speed figure is, maybe indication of a bounce. Different jockey today too in Dylan Davis, not Manny Franco. Number 5, Dean's List, as we mentioned at the top of this race. This is the horse that's likely to get the lead, has some of the best early pace figures in this field. Won 2 races, undefeated in 2. Can it get to the front and hold on? Last time at 6 furlongs, it kind of really struggled at the end there. Will the extra distance be too much?
I don't know. I know he struggled with the last race, but you know that if you watch that race, he was brushed and he was bumped in the race, so it might have had a little to do with it. He didn't get quite the lead that he wanted to. I don't think so. This is another one trained by Todd Fletcher, and of course he won that last race at Gulfstream Park. So I think that's kind of equal to this track. He's undefeated, doesn't know how to lose yet, and he has a sharp workout on February 26th.
What's interesting to me here is you see that Manny Franco gets off of the 4 From Another Mother, and he stays on Dean's List. And he hasn't ridden Dean's List before, so that's kind of an interesting dynamic to me. Life is Great, Terry. This one ran last time out for $100,000. Finished a well-beaten second by 5 lengths. Any chance that he can make up that difference here?
Well, I don't know. He's finished in the money 6 out of 7 times, and the trainer wins 18% of the races when he's going from a sprint to a route. And in the last 14 days, the trainer's won 50% of his entries, 3 out of 6. So, he just might do something here.
Did make a big mid move in its last race with a really nice 4 furlong number. So that's sometimes an indication of a horse that's about ready to pop. So maybe you might think about Life is Great at the back end of your exactas, trifectas, that sort of stuff. No need to worry. I don't think there's any need to worry about picking this one, Terry.
No, I don't think so. Although, I think it has a really good excuse for that last race. He got a really terrible break. It started 10/14, and of course it was a muddy track. But he's got blinkers added today. But I don't think that he's in the right spot here.
No, it seems like he always gets off to a slow start. So, number 8, Bold Journey. This is a horse making its 4th start. Second start off a layoff. You saw some nice improvement last time out in its mid pace. Again, I like to see horses that make strong mid race moves. So something you see in Bold Journey here is run at Aqueduct 3 times, a win in 2 seconds. Last time out, it was the 85-cent favorite. So basically, it was a 4-5 favorite. Failed. This time around, can it improve?
Yeah, I think it can. Early running style will help the chances. This horse last time, another one was bothered in the race.
Stretch.
He was bumped in the stretch, yeah, and he's got. I think he can either come on top or close to the pace, and I like the trainer William Mott. So yeah, I think he's going to do really well.
Yeah, I think when you look at this horse, Terry, I think it has a pretty good chance. Last time it ran a mile, so this is the second time at a mile. So the second time at a route, which they're not really routes, one turn at the miles at Aqueduct. So it did improve last time out, second start off a layoff. So if the resume is the same, I wouldn't be surprised to see it do it again. Number 9, Morello, make nice commercials. Horse is undefeated in 2 races. Last ran on February the 6th. Since then, it's put in 2 workouts, a bullet workout and a pretty nice one on February the 27th. Both of those wins were at Aqueduct. Just going to make it 3 for 3.
I think he's got a good shot. He's won the last race at Aqueduct at 7 furlongs. And, of course, he's another one that's undefeated in 2 starts. He doesn't know how to lose. And he's won both races really, really easily by several lengths, So, like you said, great work. So, yeah, he's got a real good chance.
Bob Baffert ships one in from California for Trevor McCarthy, the friend of the show, to ride. Horse is improved. Got some decent workouts getting prepared for this spot. I do see a little bit of early race regression last time out. It did kind of pick up the pace a little bit in the back end. Was the favorite, got beat. Coming out here from California to New York, will that work to Rockefeller's advantage?
I'm not really sure. It ran in the Sham grade 3 and ran second. As you said, comes from Santa Anita. Has Trevor McCarthy in the irons, and it's a pretty tough horse. So you just never know what's going to happen with this horse.
So that wraps up all the horses for that race, Terry. How are you going to line them up?
Okay, I like as my first pick number 8, Bold Journey, and then my second pick would be number 10, Rockefeller. My third pick would be number 9, Morello. And my fourth pick is number 5, Dean's List.
So I'm going to go number 9, Morello on top, followed by From Another Mother. Number 5, Dean's List, something that I wasn't on in high school, but I was on a lot in college. Something switched. I don't know what happened there. And then number 3, Golden Code. That wraps up my top 4, 9, 4, 5, and 3. Before we move on to the next race, Terry, which is the Fountain of Youth, which is Kentucky Derby prep race. If you had a chance, did you go over and did you take a look at this extensive write-up that our Chris Parmalu did on the Fountain of Youth?
I have not yet, no. And I meant to do that this morning and just ran out of time.
Yeah, I know that feeling. But if you head over to horseracingtoday.net, you'll see Chris put together an extensive review of this race, the Fountain of Youth. All the early pace numbers in here. You have his trip notes for all the horses in the field, some videos. If you're going to bet the Fountain of Youth today, it's worth taking a look at, reading through it. It might not change what you're going to do, but might add a horse to your radar that you might think about putting on your list. It's tough to say. I think Chris does a fantastic job with these articles.
Yeah, I think he does.
So the Fountain of Youth is race number 12. If you drive down I-95 from Aqueduct all the way to South Florida, you're going to end up there in probably about a day. Fountain of Youth is 1 1/16 miles on the main dirt track. As you can see, they start and then they turn left pretty much right away, Terry. At 1 1/16, they've run 11 races at the current Gulfstream Park meet. 100% of them were won by speed. You have a very strong rail and 8+ bias, and the 2 through 7 all win at some pretty similar numbers. Taking a look at how the horses might get out of the gate in a race where early pace, as I mentioned, 100% of the horses were first, second, or third at the 11 races they've run so far. High Oak, O Captain, and Dean Delivers are likely to be amongst the first 3 when they hit that quarter-mile marker. And then when they're coming down the stretch, trying to earn those 50 points, Terry, you're going to have Emmanuel, who will have the best late pace in this field, followed by a Rattled and Roll, Howling Time, and then from 4 down, you see a pretty similar type late pace numbers in there. And then finally, here's our stock chart in what looks to me like it's going to be an extremely competitive race because most of the ranges are pretty similar, and there's a lot of averages that are pretty close to one another.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It looks like it's a pretty wide open race. Matter of fact, I wrote that in my notes.
Well, that's what the stock chart shows.
That's right.
So the first horse up is Mark Hamian, the 1 horse on the rail. As I mentioned, you got a pretty good, strong rail bias. The horse does have some early speed. Got out of the gates last time out pretty sharply. It tends to break well as well. At least broke well last time. Had a bullet workout on February the 25th. Improved in the first half of the race last time out. Can it take its well, it won already at Gulfstream Park. Can it upset this field?
Well, it might have a chance. It's going for a hat trick. And of course, the rail post is winning a 30% clip right now. He's stretching out in this race, so we'll just have to see if he can handle that stretch out. So,
Number 2, Simplification. Our friend who was on the Horse Center this week, Jose Ortiz, told us he really likes this horse. Had a chance to work him out in the morning, thinks he's prepped and ready to go. I think he's got a pretty good shot as well. Last time out, though, I was a little concerned to see that there's regression across the board. But sometimes that happens to young horses when they come off the bench. Their first race, they run really sharp. Their second race is a little dull. And then they pop right back up in the third race, which is kind of the pattern I'm expecting out of Simplification today.
Yeah, this horse ran second in last race after breaking slow and throwing his head. He switches to a high percentage jockey, Jose Ortiz, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. So, I think he looks fairly decent to me.
Howling Time tried his luck last time out. I think this one might be scratched, Terry. Hold on 1 second. I know there's a couple scratches here.
The 10 and 12 are scratched.
The 10 and 12. Okay, good. I knew it was blue, Terry. Well, purple's not blue, but close. Howling Time, last time out, faded really bad. Really bad at the Kentucky Jockey Cup at Churchill Downs. It's come over to Gulfstream Park, where it's been working out since its last race. In fact, since February the 5th, it's put in 3 workouts. Every single one of them are bullets.
Bullet works.
It's got your guy Smoking Joe Talamo on top there, Terry. A horse clearly likes the surface there. Otherwise, you wouldn't see these bullet workouts, right?
That's right. And, you actually said most of whatever I was going to say, except for there's one thing. This last race, he tried to run on top. And I don't think that's the running style that he likes. I think he likes to come from closer off to this pace. So if Joe would hold him back a little bit this time, I think maybe he'll do a little better.
Number 4, In Due Time, is another one of those horses. Well, Terry, this one won its debut on the lead at Monmouth, where they don't have a whip. Found his way down to Gulfstream Park for optional claiming $75,000. Didn't really run too well off the first start, but did improve nicely when they took the horse from a sprint to a route. Perhaps Paco Lopez can make another huge win with In Due Time.
Yeah, this horse is one to keep in mind. He ran, won the last race, 5 3/4 lengths, and the trainer wins 23% of the races, the third race off of a layoff. So,
Dean Delivers. It's a horse that should be right off the pace, Terry. Third start off a layoff. did show some nice mid-race improvement in its last race and then kind of held in there. I would expect to see this horse probably try to run the same thing, but it hasn't quite. It looks to me like this horse is a presser, not so much a pace horse or a closer. So I think it's going to really be pace dependent on Dean Delivers to have a shot to get in. It's going to have to kind of probably be a slowish pace where he has a chance to keep up with the horses up front and then have enough late kick to maybe get the job done at the end. And I don't think that's what you're going to get here for Dean Delivers.
Yeah, he actually looks like he doesn't really want to pass anybody, so he likes to run second, be the bridesmail. He did run a nice race in the Swell Grade 3 race, last race at Gulfstream Park, and I do like his jockey Miguel Vasquez. So,
yeah, we both like the number 5 today, Stacy. I don't know how or why that happened, but we do like the 5 today. Terry is again always kind of spying on me. Number 6, Rattle and Roll. Horses won 2 consecutive races. Breeders' Cup Futurity at Keeneland, which is a pretty good track, Terry. Keeneland, right? It's a pretty good win there for Rattle and Roll. But that race was on October 9th. Has not hit the track since. And looking at the horse since February, it's got 4, 8, 13, 18 furlong workouts. So the horse should be pretty fit. And then the workouts haven't been all that bad. This looks to me like one, Terry, that's going to be way at the back and have to close into what could be, I think, a pretty fast pace. So I think Rattle and Roll will have a chance to put his wares to work, especially late in the race.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think Brian Hernandez knows how to run a horse like that, or ride a horse that way. This horse won 2 in a row pretty darn easily, and so he's going for a hat trick. He has a really sharp workout on February 26th, second best out of 41. So,
AP's Secret. Tyler Gaffleone, who's been winning at 19% at Gulfstream Park, just not when I bet on. He's teaming up with Safi Joseph Jr. Combination wins at a pretty good rate, Terry, 26%. The horse has run across this track 3 times, 2 wins and a second. Horse has been able to win on the lead. The horse has been able to win from middle of the pack. And since that January 9th race, the horse has 3, 6, 11, 16 and 20 furlongs of workouts. No question, AP Secret should be fit, likes the track, and maybe one that can upset.
Yeah, I agree. This horse looks pretty decent to me. He has that high percentage winning trainer who's winning 24% clip at this meet. And Tyler Gaffleone, they switched to Tyler. So there must be a reason they did that. I think this horse has got a really good chance. Trainer in the last 14 days have been in the money 11 out of 20 times, won 7 of those races.
So, yeah, you know what? I wonder what Pete Aiello, our friend, is thinking. Number 8, Emmanuel. This horse is making its 3rd start, second off a layoff. Last time out, had a huge late number in there, which is what you'd like to see. Should not be all that far off the pace. It's been on the lead a couple of times out. But when you looked at the early pace numbers, more like middle of the pack for this crew. Did run the top last race speed figure, and since then it has put in a couple of really nice workouts, Terry. This one, I think, is going to be – I think this one's going to do a lot of damage and have a good shot to win.
Yeah, I really like this horse. He's perfect so far in his career. Winning his last race at Tampa Bay. He has that high percentage winning trainer, Todd Fletcher, has the highest last race speed rating. The trainer in the last 14 days has won 5 out of 12, and he has – those sharp workouts. So he checks off a lot of those boxes,
so to speak. Number 9, High Oak, Junior Alvarado, William Mott horse. Last time out, tried the hopeful at Saratoga way back in September. Since then, it's put in a bunch of workouts. So the horse should be fit for trainer Bill Mott. It did win its debut, which I like to see. So that was the first time off the bench for that horse. Went straight to the barn, came back off on a rest. Won again. It did not win when it tried to go back-to-back races without some time in the barn. So it looks to me like High Oak is one of those horses that you might see run a race, go to the barn, run a race, go to the barn, because it looks like it runs better fresh.
Yeah, that appears to be the case. He could improve with a lot longer race here. And, he does have that really good workout on February 28th, which was a bullet workout of 101.4.
Number 10, Giant Game. Looks like this one will need a Giant Game is scratched, so that's probably why he's out. Number 11 is another one that looks like it'll need a Giant Game to make up for what it looks like it did in the last race. I think O-Captain is out of its league.
Yeah, he needs probably another race. He ran third after being off for like 6 months, but then he's now been off again for quite a while. So I think he needs another race to see what's going on.
And 13, is that one in?
No, 13 is scratched.
Galt is not in. Okay, so that means, as always, Terry, it's time to make our picks for the Fountain of Youth. Who do you think is going to collect the 50 Kentucky Derby points?
All right. I like, let me get back here to where I'm supposed to be. Okay. I like number 8 in Emmanuel as my first pick. And then I like number 2, Simplification, as my second pick. And then number 7, AP Secrets, my third pick. And number 5, Dean Delivers, is my fourth pick.
Well, we agree on this first 3. Again, not only are you copying my clothes, you're copying my picks. I have Emmanuel, Simplification, AP Secret in the same order you do. And then I just have, in due time, the 4-horse as my third selection. So if you want to copy Terry and I as well, you like the number 5. I like the way these shirts look, Terry, and the way they feel, and the hats. I think it all coordinates pretty nicely. I've been out and I've gotten some good compliments on them. So if you like the number 5 hat, head over to horseracingtoday.net. There you go. That makes it 3. Click on Horse Racing Today gear. And for now, for the next couple of days, for 5 days, you can get 15% off. It's one of the ways you can help support us if you like what we do here at Horse Racing Today. Terry and I will be back on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for everybody's favorite tracks. We'll be covering parks. We'll have full card picks. We'll have our best bets. We'll have our box it ups. We'll have hot dog pick 4s, and we will also have prime rib pick 4s. Should be a fun week of parks picks, Terry.
It will be fun. And oh, by the way, good morning, Stacy.
Race next, we're heading down to Southern California from Southern Florida. We're going to go to Santa Anita for race 6, the San Felipe Stakes. This is another 50-point race for the Kentucky Derby. The winner of this one will find its way at Churchill Downs, can make some reservations for that first Saturday of May. San Felipe Stakes, Terry, is 1 mile and a 16th. If you take a look at what's happened so far at 1 mile and a 16th out there in Southern California, there have been 11 races. 7 of them were won by speed. 5 of those 7 horses went wire to wire. There's a strong inside 3 bias, particularly the 2 and the 3 are far stronger than everybody else. I don't know why the rail works out like that. So let's take a look at how the early pace, where early pace matters, not as much as it does at Gulfstream, but it does matter. And then maybe you can see post position. Well, the 1, 2, the 3, Automatic is the only horse in the inside 3 that has some early pace. But that Forbidden Kingdom, Terry, its early pace figure relative to everybody else's is off the chart.
Yeah.
And then on the way home, Doppeldanger should be one that's showing a lot of late kick, but not much more than Worse Reed Sanchez or Cabo Spirit. Beautiful art and down all have some pretty similar type numbers. If we look at our stock chart for this particular race, you see the 5 and the 6 kind of are a little bit of standouts there, Terry.
Yes, absolutely.
So Happy Jack is the first horse on the rail. As I mentioned, the inside 3 does have a pretty good pace advantage. I mean, a post position or track position advantage. I don't know that Happy Jack, based upon that 27th length finish last time out, might be able to take advantage of that, though.
Yeah, he did win his first career race, but then he ran last in that grade 3 race at today's distance. I think he's really outclassed in this race.
Yeah, he was bet okay in that race. I just wonder if maybe something went wrong.
Could be.
Because you look at that opening race, and as I mentioned, sometimes these young horses, they come out, they run a good race, fresh, then they kind of bounce a little bit in the second race, and then they come back with a sharp effort in the third. If Happy Jack can follow that pattern, I think he's got a pretty good chance to perform well. My biggest concern is he ran on February the 6th. The February the 20th workout, not so good. And the February 26th workout, not so good. So we'll see. Yeah. Worse Reed Sanchez missed by a nose last time out at optional claiming. Been on the turf. Debuted on the dirt. That didn't go very well. Goes back to dirt here. I don't see, other than a nice improvement in his speed figure last time out, any reason why I want to back this one.
No, I agree with that. I think this horse is more a turf horse than a dirt horse. I don't think it's going to do very well today. Although he does have a really good trainer jockey combo that in the last 14 days have won 3 out of 4 races.
The only thing that gives me a ray of hope that this horse might have a chance is the late pace figures in the last race were significantly better than what the horse has produced before. Armagnac. I hope I got that right. Armagnac. Maybe, I don't know. Horse won last time out, maiden, breaking its maiden race, and did so not with the highest last race speed figure. So I would like to see that be the case for this horse to get my nod. Although you did see some nice improvement in the late pace numbers, I don't like the fact that I saw some early race regression. Got to the lead. I don't think that's going to be the case here today, although it does have a nice bullet workout. I'm curious to see how this horse responds if it doesn't have the lead, like it did not have the lead in its debut.
Yeah, I think this horse is really a nice horse. Won the last race at Santa Anita, today's distance. And of course, he has that high percentage winning trainer, everybody's bad boy, Bob Baffert. And
Bad Boy Bob. Maybe you should
Yeah,
maybe you should make T-shirts. Bad Boy Bob.
could be, yeah. He has jockey John Velasquez in the irons. He has that really good workout. And, I think if you look 112.2 is really a good 6 furlong workout. He won that last race pretty darn easily and it really improved his speed rating. But, the first race, everybody says, well, he didn't run too good with Mike Smith. But if you watch that race, you'll see that he was bumped on both sides in the stretch run. So that could have had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it could have a lot to do with it. I do like the fact that both those workouts since that last race were faster than the in-race 6 furlong number, which can be a good sign. Beautiful art. Mike Smith is on this one. He rode it in its debut. Did not win at maiden special weight 67. Went to maiden claiming $200,000. Flavian Pratt took him to the winner's circle. Mike Smith jumps back up on the mount. It did see some nice race improvement last time out at the 4 furlong numbers and the late pace numbers. Although when you look at the fractions were even better by about 3 seconds. So much improved horse last time out. I think to compete here, it'd have to be a much improved horse again today.
Yeah, you're right. He won his last race at Santa Anita at 6 furlongs, and he stretches out for this race. And this trainer wins 27% of the time when he's going from a sprint to a route. And of course, Mike Smith is back in the irons. We'll have to see if he can do a little better than he did in the first race.
Morning line favorite, Doppeldanger, is going to be one that's going to try to come off for pace. Got whooped last time out by Forbidden Kingdom. Can he turn the tables with that bullet work?
Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of hard. He ran fourth in his last race at Santa Anita, and now he goes for in a mile and 16th. That I think will be a plus for him, actually. Another trained by Bob Baffert, and he has 3 bullet workouts in a row.
Yeah, since his last race, he's definitely trained well, unquestionably. He's a one horse away from 4 consecutive bullet workouts. Forbidden Kingdom has run on the dirt and smoked some horses last time out in the San Vicente Stakes. Saw some nice early pace in this horse. I think this one's going to have the lead. I don't know how many horses in this race are going to actually be able to challenge Forbidden Kingdom for the lead. And if he gets to the front, Richard Mandela's horse could make it 2 consecutive wins.
Yeah, he's won the last race, that grade 2 race as you were talking about. He has the highest last race speed rating, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starter. He's going to be one tough one to beat. Jockey in the last 7 days has won 5 out of 16 races, finishing the money 7 times.
Going to be a tough cookie, eh?
Yep.
Number 7, Cabo Spirit. Everybody wants to beat a Cabo, especially if you live in Chicago this time of year. I've never been there, Terry. Have you?
Yes, I've been to Chicago a couple of
times. Not Chicago, Cabo.
Oh, no, I've never been to Chicago.
No, I'd like to go there. I hear it's nice. I want to go visit Sammy Hagar down there. Seems like he's always having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much fun Cabo Spirit's going to have. The horse has run much better on turf than it has run on dirt, although last time it did finish second by 15 lengths in that smashing win by Messier. But that was only a 5-horse field, so I don't know really what that means.
Yeah, I don't either. He's actually won 2 out of 4 races. And as you said, he ran second in the last race. His last workout was nothing that really showed me anything that it's a horse that I probably won't play. So.
All right. And that's it for this particular spot, Terry, for the San Felipe Stakes. How are you going to go ahead and rank them?
Okay, I like number 3, Armamatic,
Mm-hmm.
as my first pick, and of course that's one of Bob Bafford's horse. And the reason, one of the reasons I like it is I've noticed that Bob Bafford, whenever he has 2 horses in there, a lot of times it seems like the one that they don't think is going to win is the one that wins. So
Mm-hmm.
and then I like at number 6, Forbidden Kingdom, as my second choice. And then I like number 5, Doppelganger, as my third choice. And even though I said that the Carpal Spirit probably won't win, I do like him as my 4th pick.
And he's number
He's number 7.
7. Terry's going 3, 6, 7. Rich in the San Felipe Stakes is going to go number 6, Forbidden Kingdom, number 5, Doppelganger, number 3, Argmatic, and then number 4, A Beautiful Art, Terry. And along with those picks, we also did some work with jockey Ramon Vasquez on Thursday night with the Players Edge podcast. That was a lot of fun. Ramon, he even said he wants to see Sean get involved in the TikTok challenge that we put out for him. Yes. If you haven't had a chance to look at it and you're going to take race, I think we did race number 4, we did race number 9 and number 10 with Ramon, all mounts that he has, all races that he have mounts on, all stakes races. And he gives us some insight to what he plans on doing with those horses and what experience he has with them and how he sees himself running those races. And if you want to know the TikTok challenge, there you go. Ramon Vasquez says, it was nice talking to you guys. Thank you, Ramon. We appreciate that. Follow the Horse Racing Today page. You can do that as you see on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Horse Race Today. As soon as we hit 1,000 followers, Sean, Swiss Army Sean, is going to do a TikTok dance.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Mm-hmm. And then we put another qualifier in there. It's got to be in Speedos. So if you want to see Sean dance in Speedos, then head on over to Horse Race, the number 2 day on Twitter, and follow us. The last race of the day, Terry, is at Turfway Park. This is the John Battaglia Memorial Stakes. This one is not a win and you're in. It's only a 10-point race, but nonetheless, it's a Kentucky Derby qualifier. So it merits our attention. This one is race number 5 over there on that all-weather track. It is a mile and a 16th. So far, they've run 26 races at Turfway Park at a mile and a 16th. And, you know, Turfway, Terry, it seems like any horse could win anytime, and it can be a bombs away type show.
Yeah, it happens a lot. So,
but in those 26 races, 14 of the winners were stalkers and closers. So unlike everything we talked about in the first 3 races where it's speed, 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 this one, you probably want your horse to be middle of the pack with some good late kick. Only 4 of the 26 went wire to wire. And for some reason, the posts number 2 and 3 win twice as much as any other post position whatsoever at all.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's pretty crazy, you know. So looking at the early pace and late pace, you have a race which has a really pretty strong advantage over everybody else. Then La Belleza Negra, followed by Dopin G's on the way home, which is, I think, where the race is going to be won, according to the profile of a winner. On Thin Ice and Stolen Base are the top closers, followed by Legendary Lore. Those should be the ones that are coming home the quickest. The question is, will the others have a big enough advantage on them from early speed for them to catch up late? And then once again, here you see there is a very competitive race, at least from posts 1 through 11. And then it tails off pretty aggressively from right there, Terry.
Yes.
So this one, there are some also eligibles in here, if I remember correctly. So let's take a look and see if any of them made it in the race.
Yeah, I didn't check.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. It's okay. So yeah, we're this is race number 6.
Yes. 13 and 14 are gone. They're scratched.
So the 1 is out, and so are no, I'm at the wrong race. Race 5.
Yeah.
All right. So race 5, yes, the only ones that are out are the 13 and 14. So let's go ahead and get started with number 1, Golden Eye, Terry.
Yeah.
This horse is making its third start in its career. Last time out, broke its maiden with a really good improvement relative to the first race. You saw some incredible increases in its 2 furlong numbers, 4 furlong numbers, and 8 late pace numbers. And since that February 10th race has a really nice workout. So maybe Goldeneye found its form.
Could be, you never know. And as you said, this is another one of those races that wide open. It's a good. I like these kind of races. They're good betting races because you can get some pretty good trifectas, exactas, superfectas, that sort of thing. So anyway, this horse won its last race at Tampa at Turfway Park, and switches to high percentage trainer who wins 27% of the races in non-graded stakes. And then it has a really good workout on February 26th.
Rich Strike. It's got my name in it, Terry. Got to be in my picks. I don't know if it is or not, but
I don't
horse
know.
is making its third start off a layoff. Has only run on the all-weather once. It's only in the money. It finished in the money in that race. It was $100,000, so not too far from this level. Was closing in on some of these horses in here today. Gets a little bit of extra distance today, so maybe that extra 16th of a mile might be enough for Rich Strike to go from third to second or maybe first.
Could be, yeah. He finished third in his last race at Turfway Park. And if you look there, he's got really 3 good workouts in a row. So 2 of them bullet workouts.
So maybe Rich Strike is going to do something in here. Number 3, La Beza Negra. The horse has won its last race. Its maiden finally broke through in its 4th try. Did so with an 11-length win over a 9-horse field. As I've mentioned many times, I'm not a big fan of horses making that jump from its maiden win, especially if the maiden win is not like in its 1st or 2nd try. But it was its 2nd try on an all-weather track. Its all-weather numbers are considerably better than its dirt numbers. And the horse has increased its speed figure 3 consecutive races in a row.
Yeah, this horse doesn't know how it feels to finish out of the money, as he's been in the money 4 out of 4 races, and as you said, he won that last race pretty easily. He's trained. The trainer wins 21% of the time in the 3rd race after a layoff, and this trainer jockey combination, the last 14 days have been in the money 5 out of 6 times. Win 2 of those. He has a good workout on February 26th.
Number 4, Stolen Base. This is a horse that will be coming from way back. It spent most of its time running on turf, Terry, last 4 races anyway, has not tried an all-weather track yet, which to me can be a little bit tricky because that all-weather course, I saw Caitlin Free, who's the like the TV handicapper down there at Turfway Park, says she almost always wants to see a horse with a run over the course before she'll take it. The one thing that maybe gives you some indication that it can't handle it is a lot of folks that we've talked to in the business, trainers, jockeys, they've told us that the transition from grass to all-weather and all-weather to grass has a stronger correlation than dirt to all-weather or dirt to grass. So the horse did run well on on grass, which indicates it might run well on all-weather. We'll find out today.
Yeah, this horse, as you can see, though, he's been like 5 different tracks, and he's had like 5 different jockeys. So now he gets a jockey that's winning at a 24% clip here. And anyway, he ran his last, he ran 3rd on his last race on the turf. And like you said, now he goes to an all-weather. He does switch to a high percentage trainer and wins 21% of the time when that trainer brings a beaten favorite back to race.
Number 5, On Thin Ice. Just missed by a neck last time out. It's been on all-weather twice at Turfway Park. Has a 2nd and a 3rd. That 2nd being by a neck last out. Went to the bench after January the 7th. That race showed some really good improvement in the early half of the race. So the first half mile, On Thin Ice ran much better than he has in any other race. Question is, taking some time off. Since then, Terry, he's had a couple of workouts. It looks like 8, about 13, 17 furlongs of workouts. So I would expect On Thin Ice to come back to the track in about the same condition he left the track in.
Yeah, if you look at his first 5 races of his career, he was increasing each race his speed rating, which means he was running himself, getting run into form. And that last race where he's beating only a neck, he just barely missed that. I think this horse is hankering to win something, so you should watch out for this one.
Legendary Lore is another one that's going to come from off the pace, Terry. It's run at on the all-weather track twice, has a pair of thirds, but they're not by much. I mean, the horse is really a neck and a length away from being undefeated in its 2 cracks at Turfway Park. So those races are probably better than the line looks. I mean, because you look at it, two races, 2/3, you think, oh, this horse might not be all that competitive. I'm a bit concerned that it did regress a little bit last time out. Seems to close better into a fast pace than it does a slower pace, although last time the pace was on par for the distance in service. I don't know how. I don't think this race is going to be loaded with pace.
No, I think you're right about that. This horse did win. I mean, run third, beat Noni and Neck last time. He likes to close from really deep, and he is stretching out a little bit over last race, but he's ran this distance before and didn't do real well.
This is what Terry does when he's at the club. He's dropping G's, grands, baby. That's the kind of dough Terry rolls with. But this is a horse that's done pretty well on the all-weather track. He's run 4 times, has a win and 2/3. So you say, that looks okay. But he's been beaten by no more than 1.5 lengths. In fact, most of the last 2 races, although he finished 4th last time, it was only by 1/2 length. But he did give up the lead in the stretch, which I'm not a fan of. And then he's adding an extra 16th today. So I feel like the additional distance is actually going to hurt dropping G's.
It could be. Like you said, he lost the lead in the last race, but he actually closed from off the pace where the race before he won on top, and was cornered in the stretch and passed and came back to win by a nose. This horse, I don't really think he's got a chance in here, but if he's put into a different type race, it's a horse that I kind of like because he seems to try every time.
Yeah, he does seem to try. Like I say, he's been right there at the end. A race last time out at $100,000 at Turfway Park for 1 mile. So he's adding a little bit of distance there. Rye El Claberi in the irons instead of Joe Talamo. I think Joe took a pretty good spill the other day, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
The horse has a nice late pace and figure improvement. As you mentioned with the previous horse, Terry, this horse, every single time out, is shown to be better than the time before. This is the 3rd start off a layoff. I am just a touch concerned that in the early part of the last race, there was a little bit of a regression on the pace numbers for the first half mile. But I'm going to look at it a different way. I'm going to look at it like it was an easy race for the horse, that he didn't really have to try all out. So I'm expecting more from a race today.
Yeah, this horse is somebody that I really like. I like this horse a lot. Trained by Brad Cox. And, he finished in the money 3 out of 4 races so far. He won his last race at Turfway Park. He has the highest high percentage trainer and the highest last race speed rating, and his best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters.
Number 9, OP Firecracker. It's another horse to me that looks like Terry, that it's going to save its best for last. Probably middle pace. 2nd start off a layoff. Looking at its resume on a debut, ran at 84. 2nd time out, ran the same exact number. So I'm expecting a pretty similar performance, maybe a little bit better from OP Firecracker, but I really wouldn't expect a whole lot of improvement here. Did run against some of these last time out, so you do see some black type in front of it, black bull type in front of it, but some improvement. The horse was well bet, was 7-2 last time out. So maybe you can see some improvement of OP Firecracker find its way into the exacta trifecta, some of the exotics.
Maybe, although it's a horse that I'm not really impressed with. The blinkers are being added today, and the trainer hasn't won very well on all-weather tracks. He's only won 3% of the starts. So,
yeah, he's not a big fan of the all-weather, huh? Tis the Bomb. That last race to Holy Bull at Gulfstream Park, that one did not go well.
No,
not at all. Prior to that, the horse had been running on turf where things did go well. Has not run on the all-weather track. So once again, we're going to have that test. Can a horse transition from turf to all-weather? It's run very well on the turf. It's run from way behind to close, kind of fits the track bias. Only thing is I would like to have seen an all-weather workout in here. I don't see one, so I'm not quite sure what Tis the Bomb brings to this track, to this race today as the morning line favorite.
Yeah, I don't either. He does drop in class. He does have a 18% trainer wins 18% of the time in non-graded stakes, but I couldn't understand that last race. I went and watched it, and I didn't see anything that really showed me why he ran the way he did. So for me, it's a pass for me. I'm not gonna include this horse. I think he's better on the turf.
Yeah, it looks to me like he's better on the turf. And if you look at the 3 dirt races the horse has had, the debut was terrible at Gulfstream Park. I mean, at Churchill Downs. Then it took some time off and then tried to, come back to run on dirt again. So fresh start on dirt, bombed in the debut. Fresh start after some time off, bombed on the dirt. Maybe the horse just doesn't like dirt. Although that maiden win at Ellis Park, that might have just been a more of a situational thing where it was more the quality of the opponent than the horse itself.
Yeah, I believe that's what it was. I don't think that the horses he ran against matched to him very well. So,
number 11, Bloodline, should be in a good position to win this race, Terry. It has not run on all weather yet, but it looks to me like this one can sit off the pace or maybe let the horses get away from them a little bit and then close into it. Again, the question here again is that first time on the all weather, you're going to have to rely on that turf run and maybe on the fairgrounds off-track run when it was wet, although that track was listed probably as fast. So I'm not 100% sold that Bloodline is one that can make that transition either, although fits the profile of a winner perfectly.
Yeah, that's true. This horse looks pretty good. He's got Brad Cox training, and he has ran in the last 2 races pretty darn neat. He only got beat half a length in that last race at Houston, and at the fairgrounds he won a race there. So yeah, he's got a chance.
Number 12 is the last horse in the field, Grail. Grail is going to make its first start on all weather too after 3 races on the turf. Has been off since December the 4th. Has a bunch of workouts in there, so unquestionably the horse will be fit, Terry. The question is, will this Brandon Walsh horse be able to take its talents from turf to all weather? I mean, this race is just loaded with questions, so I'm expecting some bombs to show up somewhere in this where you'll get some nice payout in this race. But how do you think that Grail might fit into that picture?
Well, he's ran at 3 different tracks. The jockeys followed him at all 3 and now follows him here. So the jockey really feels good about this horse, I'm sure. And the horse has never finished out of the money. He won the one at Kentucky Downs. I think Kentucky Downs is a tough track to win at too.
It is.
And it's improved its speed rating each one. So the whole question is he going to fare well on the all-weather track? I don't know. This is a race for me that if I was playing a pick 4 or pick 5, I would use several of these horses in my ticket. So
which ones would you use? What are the top 4 for Terry?
All right. I like number 8, Erase, as my first pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like number 5, On Thin Ice, as my second pick. And then I like number 11, Bloodline, as my third pick. And number 4, Stolen Base, as my 4th pick.
I'm going to go the same horse on top, Terry, Erase. And then I'm going to go Bomb City behind it. I'm going to go number 1, Golden Eye. Number 3, La Bella Negra. And then finally, number 6, Legendary Lore. Although I am very concerned about the 11, Bloodline and Tis the Bomb. But I want to see how they perform on the all-weather track because sometimes horses bomb on their first time around that all-weather stuff. So you just don't know what you're going to get sometimes. But I do know what we're going to get on Monday, Terry. You and I will be back at 12 noon Eastern to go through the entire Parks card. If you want to check that out, make sure you subscribe while you're here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You see on the scroller below at Horse Race, the number 2 day. And again, if you have a chance to today, please go over to horseracingtoday.net. Check out some of that great content from Chris, the Player's Edge podcast with Ramon Vasquez. And then, of course, you can always catch over there every single day of the week, Terry. You can catch Terry's best bet of the day, right?
That's right, yeah.
And today, your best bet is where?
Oh, let's see.
It's right on the screen.
Yeah, it's right there. It's at Gulfstream. It's the 10th race. And I like number 3, Speaker's Corner. He won his last race at Gulfstream Park. He has the highest last race speed rating, highest speed figure at today's distance. His best dirt speed is the fastest among today's starters, so he marks a lot of the boxes. Then I like number 4, Fearless. He ran second in his last race after coming wide into the stretch. He has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer, and the trainer in the last 17 days has won 5 out of 12 races. Then number 6, New York Traffic, has won last race at Belmont and has a trainer jockey combination who's been in the money 100% of the time in the last 14 days, winning 2 of those 3 races.
Yes. And while you're there again, if you'd like to support us, along with telling your friends about us, please hit this HRT gear. Go on over to horseracingtoday.net. You'll see our gear here. I like it a lot, Terry. I think it looks great. I've worn it out and I've gotten a bunch of compliments already. So if you like horse racing, you're going to be at the track. I think you're going to want to wear some of that stuff. The great logo on the front, the Horse Racing Today logo, and the number on the back. So that has the number 5 on there. Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here on this Saturday?
Well, I'm hoping that everybody's safe, all the jockeys, horses, handlers, and the gate. All of those people are safe, and everybody's safe out there. I hope things get better over in Europe, and you should just give your loved ones a hug and love you, and just have a good weekend.
Absolutely. We hope everybody has a fantastic Saturday and Sunday. Great weekend. And no matter who you pick, where you pick, whether you agree with Terry and I, you disagree with Terry and I, we hope that somehow, some way, miraculously, everybody's picks, Terry, end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Terry and I will be back on Monday.
Cause I've been living life